Good morning. This is Lars Olson, and this is today's Quiet Echo. A man I have known for 20 years came into my store on Monday and set a spool of wire on the counter. Then he asked me whether the price was a mistake. It was not a mistake. I have to tell you a little about him first. He is an electrician. He has wired houses in this town for 2 decades. He has bought copper wire from me the whole time he has been in business, and he has never once stood at my counter and questioned what a spool cost. On Monday, he stood there holding the little price tag, the way you hold a letter when you already know it has bad news inside. I told him the number was right. Copper cost $6 a pound this spring. In the whole history of the metal, it has never cost so much. A man can wire 1,000 houses across 20 years and never give one thought to the price of the wire itself. The wire was just there. It was the cheap part. Now, it is the first thing he thinks about when he writes up a job. And then he told me the other half of it, while he was paying. 2 weeks ago, somebody came to one of his job sites in the night and cut a spool of wire off the back of his truck. In the morning, he found the plastic jacket lying in the gravel, stripped clean, the copper gone. So there he was at my counter, buying the same wire a second time. He bought it once, and it went nowhere. Now he was buying it again, paying the record price twice for the same copper, and only the second roll was ever going to end up inside a wall. I have sold wire in this town for 40 years, and I want you to understand how strange this is to me. For almost all of those 40 years, copper was a thing you left on the truck and did not think about. It was worth a little something, but not enough to bring a man with bolt cutters out into the cold at night. A roll of wire was safer in an open truck bed than a good ladder or a nice cordless drill. Nobody bothered with the wire. They bother with it now. I read what is going on out there at my counter, between customers. Here is what is happening. One phone company alone reported more than 10,000 copper thefts across the country last year. Whole neighborhoods lost their telephones. In some towns, the wire somebody cut was the line carrying calls to 911, so a person in trouble picked up the phone to call for help and got nothing but a dead receiver. The thieves work in the dark, and in the dark they cannot always tell copper from fiber, so they cut both. The internet goes down right along with the phones. I am a hardware man, not a man who gets up on a soapbox, but I have been chewing on this for a couple of weeks, and I think it is worth sitting with for a minute. The wire only became worth stealing because it became worth everything to the rest of us. The data centers need copper. The electric cars need copper. The new power lines we are stringing across the country need copper. The same demand pushing the number on my customer's price tag up to $6 a pound. It is the very same demand pulling the wire out of streetlights and switch boxes at 2 in the morning. It is one number. You just see it from 2 different ends. From where I stand, behind my counter, it is an honest electrician paying twice for the wire he needs to do his work. From a dark utility yard, it is a fellow with a saw and a truck, cutting the town's nervous system into scrap weight. I am not telling you anything the police do not already know. States are passing laws right now about who is allowed to sell scrap metal, and how, and what records they have to keep. The wire services are covering this as a crime story, and it surely is one. But a crime story counts the arrests. A crime story does not count my electrician. He is the one I keep thinking about. He did everything right for 20 years. He learned the trade. He paid his men on time. He kept his trucks clean. And he left his wire on the truck bed overnight, because in the country he grew up in, you could leave it, and nothing would happen. He is the one getting charged for the country we have turned into. He pays once at my register, and he pays again, out in the dark, for wire he already bought. Here is the part I want you to take with you. The wire inside the walls of your own house is worth more today than it was the day somebody installed it. So is the wire in the streetlight on your corner. So is the line carrying your own call for help, if you ever have to make one. We did not sit down and decide to make those things more valuable. We just built a country where everything runs on copper and the copper followed the value right out into the night. I sold my electrician his second spool. He loaded it into his truck himself, and he did not say a whole lot. But at the door he stopped, and he told me something I have not stopped thinking about. He said he brings his wire inside every single night now. Off the truck, into the locked garage. Like a man bringing in the dog before bed. This is where we are. A grown working man is hauling his copper wire indoors at night, because the country finally decided it was worth taking. If you have copper anywhere a stranger can get to it, the spool in the garage, the spare wire in the shed, bring it in. It is a small thing. But it is the thing you can do and the fellow with the saw is counting on you not doing it. This is Lars Olson, your host for today's Quiet Echo. Thanks for listening. Cedar Valley News has a Facebook group, and you are welcome in it. If copper has gone missing where you live, a spool off a truck, a streetlight gone dark on your street, come tell us about it. I will put the link in the show notes. Quiet Echo is part of the fictional Cedar Valley News series, written by Evan Swenson, publisher, and Claude Marshall, AI developmental editor. While the people and town of Cedar Valley are fictional, the record 2026 copper prices, the rise in copper theft reported by major telecommunications carriers, and the new state laws restricting scrap metal sales are real.
You've been listening to the Cedar Valley News Podcast, where small-town voices meet the headlines shaping our world. From faith and family to front porches and fields. We'll be back with more stories connecting real lives to real events. Until next time, keep your porch light on, your faith strong, and your heart open. This is Cedar Valley News.